Edwin, nay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Give me just a second to get back where I'm supposed to be here. And will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment in each case?
Yes, Your Honor, we will.
Ms. Johnson, in cause number 24, DCCR 2151, you're charged with the third-degree felony offense of forgery of a financial instrument from August 10th of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you pleading guilty because you did what they charged you with?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, can we change that to no contest?
Nope, I don't take no contest.
The courtroom goes completely quiet as the judge begins reading multiple serious felony charges one by one. The defendant, Miss Johnson, stands there and pleads guilty without any hesitation or fear. The judge carefully asks every single question to make sure this plea is fully voluntary and not forced. This is not a small moment. Pleading guilty to a felony charge means your entire life changes forever. No going back. No excuses. Just the truth standing right there in front of the law.
Or I know only under certain circumstances, but typically not. And then, Ms. Johnson, in cause number 24, DCCR 2152, you're charged with the state jail felony offense of abandoning or endangering a child with intent to return from September 18th of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And because you did what they charged you with?
Yes, ma'am.
And then finally, in cause number 24, DCCR 2153, you're also charged with the state jail felony offense of abandoning or endangering.
The tension in the room suddenly rises when Miss Johnson's lawyer tries to switch the plea to no contest. But the judge shuts it down immediately and makes it crystal clear. Only a full guilty plea will be accepted in this courtroom. No contest is not an option here. The judge wants full accountability, not a legal shortcut. This single moment shows how serious the court is about making sure justice is served the right way with no loopholes allowed.
With intent to return from September 18th of 2024, and how do you plead to that charge?
That's the same charge. You have the two counts.
Same charge with two different
Yes.
children, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so how do you plead to that one?
Yes.
And again, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And because you did what they charged you with?
Yes, ma'am.
In all three of these cases, I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state's marked as Exhibit Number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Frazier?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you fully understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreements that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, do you understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty...
What happens next shocks everyone in the room. The judge reveals that the child endangerment charges are not for one child, but for two separate children. Two innocent kids were abandoned and put in danger on the same day. Miss Johnson has no choice but to stand there and admit her guilt twice, once for each child. This is the moment where the true weight of her actions becomes real and the entire courtroom feels the impact of what those children went through.
Contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law.
Yes, ma'am.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached in the third-degree felony is for a 6-year deferred probation with a $500 fine, and you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. And then in the two state jail felony cases, it would be a 5-year deferred probation with a $500 fine. And again, you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
The judge now delivers one of the most serious warnings of the entire hearing. She makes it clear that pleading guilty could have consequences that go far beyond just probation or fines. If Miss Johnson is not a U.S. citizen, this guilty plea could lead to deportation, being banned from re-entering the country, or losing any chance at citizenship forever. These are life-altering consequences that cannot be undone. The judge wants to make sure every single person in that courtroom fully understands what is at stake here.
Contenders number 1 in each case.
No objection.
It's admitted in each case. Is there any evidence? Well, it looks like there's no fine in 2153. So is it 500, 500, and then none?
Yes.
Okay. Any evidence that Ms. Johnson's not competent?
No, Your Honor, he's competent.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of guilty in each case freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of your pleas. Find sufficient evidence in each of your cases to find you guilty. However, I'm going to reset your cases so that the probation department can do a pre-sentence report. That will give me more information about you and your cases, and then we'll come back later for sentencing. You need to stop and talk to probation on your way out of the courtroom, and she's sitting at that desk right there. All right, we'll see you back at sentencing.
Your Honor, if I may submit.
DCCR 0559, Mr. Rojas is going to translate for us. And are you Ariberto Chavez?
Yes.
The case now shifts to a completely new defendant, Ariberto Chavez. He is facing a deadly conduct charge for discharging a firearm, which is an extremely serious violent offense. The judge finds out he has already made bond and is out of jail. She immediately orders him to hire a lawyer within 30 days or face serious consequences. The court makes it absolutely clear. There will be no delays. No excuses accepted. Get a lawyer or come back to jail. It is that simple.
This is your initial appearance. And you're charged with deadly conduct. Hold on. You're charged with deadly conduct, discharging a firearm from May 8th of 2025. And since you've made bond, have you had an opportunity to hire a lawyer?
I don't make a lot of money. For a court-appointed lawyer.
Things take an unexpected emotional turn when it comes out that Chavez tested positive for methamphetamine right there in court. He had violated his bond conditions, and the judge responded by raising his bond all the way to $150,000. But somehow his family managed to pull together enough money to get him out again. The judge uses this moment not just to punish, but to give him one final chance at getting his life back on track. This is where the law shows both its strength and its rare moment of human understanding.
So you tested positive in court for methamphetamine, and I raised your bond to $150,000 with a drug patch. How'd you make that bond?
I have a lot of family here and they all owe me money. I have a lot of family, parents and uncles and aunts.
If you can make a $150,000 bond, then you need to try to hire your own lawyer. So I'm going to reset your case for 30 days.
Chavez tells the judge that he does not have much money and cannot afford a lawyer on his own. But the judge is not buying it that easily. She points out that if he and his family could raise $150,000 for his bond, then he has the means to at least try to hire legal representation. She gives him 30 days and orders him to meet with at least 3 different lawyers. This is his one shot. If he wastes this chance, the consequences will be far worse than anything he has faced so far.
So I'm going to reset your case to give you some time to hire a lawyer. If you get someone hired before the next court date, bring the reset notice that you get today to that lawyer, and they'll tell you what to do. If you cannot hire someone, then I'm ordering you to visit with at least 3 lawyers. They all charge different amounts and have different payment plans. You need to bring me back the names of the lawyers that you talked to so I know you're trying. And then we'll discuss your options. If you
As the hearing wraps up, the judge delivers her final and most powerful message to everyone in the room. She makes it crystal clear that second chances are real, but they come with very strict conditions. Miss Johnson must follow every rule of her probation or face actual prison time. Chavez must find a lawyer or go straight back to jail. Every single person walking out of this courtroom today is carrying a warning. One wrong move, one missed condition, and everything falls apart. The law has spoken, and it does not repeat itself twice.
then when you come back, you run the risk of me raising your bond again, and you would go back to jail. Do you understand?
So before I come back next time, I have to have a lawyer?
You're ordered to at least try to hire someone. And
So if they're charging me a whole lot, at least I'll bring you the page showing me the charges.
yes, at least for 3 different lawyers. Do you understand?
Again?
Okay. Step in front of the clerk and sign your reset.